Welcome to Toy Business Unboxed, your gateway to the secrets of the toy industry. Here, Jason Shea, a toy entrepreneur and expert in the field.
Every product we develop is really inspired by some of the real life experience that we have with our son.
60% of all toys last year were sold on Amazon, which is incredible.
Be passionate about it because it's a road, it's a journey.
Like when you have an idea that you think is like gonna somewhat like change the world, make things better, I'd say go for it.
We'll guide you through the enchanting world of toy design, marketing, and manufacturing. Now let the unboxing begin.
Welcome back to another episode of Toy Business Unboxed podcast. I'm your host, Jason Shea. Today, our guest, Amaury, have many years of experience in digital marketing with background in consumer goods. Right now, he's actually trying to revive an old toy brand and transform them for a digital age with Egmont Toys. So thank you so much for joining us on the podcast today and kind of sharing your experience within the toys and game industry so far.
Thanks for having me. Good to be here.
Yeah. So first of all, I know you have a very interesting journey in especially CPG industry. Since you transitioned into the toys and game industry, what are some of the, I guess, if you can kind of share your background in that industry and what make you want to start your own or at least working in the toy company and kind of the story behind that, that'd be great.
Yeah. So after finishing business school, I started at Procter Gamble. So we learned everything about account management, the retail industry. And after that, ventured in a direct-to-consumer startup. So saw a completely different distribution channel, much more marketing and paid marketing dependent, much more direct link to marketing and sales as well. And then did an agency. And then after we sold that, I wanted to buy a brand rather than launching one. And that's how I came up with Egmont Toys, which is a 99% B2B retail business. So there's a couple, the CPG background comes in handy there. And we really want to put the turbo on our online sales and online brand creation as well.
And you also own a digital marketing agency before, right?
Yes.
Can you also share a little bit about what you did in the digital marketing space?
I used to own a growth marketing agency. We sold that after COVID, where we help brands and grow online through digital channels. So that meant a lot of storytelling on Instagram, creating a lot of content, landing pages, improving conversion, really trying to measuring everything, because with today's digital tools, you can actually measure and, see what drives results a lot more than what you could do 20 years ago, where you only had above the line marketing and you kind of prayed that some of the media buying actually worked.
I see. And what kind of company do you usually work with your digital marketing agency?
We had 50% B2B brands, so there we did more lead generation, and 50% were B2C brands, from where we had to drive app installs to where we had to drive appointments, subscriptions, but also just pure e-commerce.
Well, you also had handles on e-commerce brand before.
Yeah.
Okay. How does some of those experience kind of translate to the current brand that you own right now?
Well, this industry changes rapidly. So also the digital channels are changing rapidly. I think the major change is the way the social media went from your audience, like people who followed you, saw your posts, to creative first, where actually every social media became more like TikTok, and TikTok didn't care about who followed you. They just showed your content to other people that might be interested. So that whole dynamic changed, where first you had a curated Instagram feed, and then you were really trying to hack the media buying. Now it's much more how much content can you make, and is that content good enough to go viral to a larger audience? And that has been a complete game changer that we advise clients on. And we're trying to take that new wave of creative first marketing at Egmont Toys as well.
I see. What kind of, strategy or channel that has been working well for your toy brand currently?
Yeah, so we're trending more towards a lifestyle brand than a toy brand. Okay. And so the more Pinterest-worthy pictures, very aesthetically pleasing, is something where we see the biggest results on. For the past few months, everything behind the scenes, like the production process, also is a hook that worked quite well.
Yeah.
And in terms of channel, Instagram is still our biggest channel in terms of reach.
Okay.
Just because of the aesthetically pleasing elements of a lifestyle brand. People like to see how other people install their children's rooms and so on.
I see. And that's actually a very interesting angle where you're trying to kind of portray like a lifestyle brand. And I guess it also makes sense with the type of product line that you have. Can you kind of, for our audience that never heard of your brand in particular, can you kind of talk about a few different product lines that you currently have and what are some of the best seller and how is that going to feed into the whole idea about the lifestyle brand that you're trying to portray?
So Egmont Toys has been created in 1994. So the brand is 32 years old. And our main product lines are threefold. One is the iconic mushroom nightlight. So we have a whole nightlight range, the mushroom nightlight. The nightlight has been around since the 60s. So Egmont purchased the molds and the brands, I think 10 years ago.
Okay.
And that's the main nightlight you see on, really famous pictures in movies and so on. Then we have a whole range of plush and miniature plush. So soft toys, but not only to cuddle, also to play with. So different types of clothing. We also have a whole miniature world we build around them. And then we have traditional toys, kind of with a retro aesthetic vibe, wooden toys, poodle monks, all those type of things. Why are we more a lifestyle brand? I think the wooden toys were trending 10 years ago with the whole anti-plastic wave. But then they got commoditized real quickly. So more and more brands are entering the market. The barriers to entry are actually really low. Whereas we try to state, look, our products are actually visually appealing. So you don't have to throw them away or in a cupboard when you have people over. They're actually part of your interior, part of your decoration. And that's where we say, look, we're more than just a toy. We're more lifestyle. It becomes part of your deco. And that's how also people portray it on Instagram. Look, this is my family room or this is my children room. And these are the toys that fit that image, which is why we're really made for gifting. So a lot of people buy us as a gift to somebody else. Whereas for their own children, they might just go for the cheapest or easiest option on another channel.
I see. And from your perspective, because you kind of take over this legacy brand that has been there for a long time, what are some of the major changes you're trying to make within the company since you took over?
I think it's kind of the digital infrastructure and the digital hygiene. So first it's changing all the systems behind the screens to be much more efficient and ready for growth, ready to create content. And then what I call hygiene is, working on the right content. What content do you need to sell online? Because one pack shot is not cutting it anymore. You need multiple pack shots from all angles, lifestyle pictures from all angles, video, ideally an unboxing video, an ASMR video, testimonial videos. So the whole content needs to be a lot richer than 10 years ago when people just said, okay, we need one pack shot for a white background for the catalog and we'll just put that online. Second is the assortment. We really try to reduce our number of SKUs. So we went from 750 to 450 in about 18 months.
Yeah.
Just because the attention span of stores with all the brands out there is much smaller. So they really need to be able to link you to certain categories and products where you are top of mind. Whereas the days that you could do everything in bits and then one store would buy everything from you are completely over. There are much more brands out there. And then thirdly, part of the infrastructure is also the search, SEO, making sure you're visible on the chatbots. You pop up when people are looking for a gift for a 3-year-old boy, for example. So those are really like the basic infrastructure things we're doing to make the brand ready for the digital age. Whereas it was completely axed towards being a B2B brand.
That sounds very, very good insight. I think a lot of the successful toys and game brands owners I speak with, they are almost like a mini media company at the same time, because it's all about creating media, creating attention. I think the attention now is kind of a new currency, right? Like how can we get more people's attention, especially in the B2C space? B2B might be a little bit different, but for B2C, it's really about creating content, just like you mentioned, to create images from different angles and all that. Are you doing all that in-house, or how are you creating all the content since you have a massive catalog as well?
We're doing a mix of in-house with fixed freelancers or partners, and then some post-production through different tools.
I see. And do you notice any particular trend in your particular product line, or the way, like when you're talking to people in the industry? Like you mentioned, the wooden toy was hot many years ago. Like what are some of the trends you're noticing for your particular categories?
So one trend I'm seeing is that a lot of brands are doing a lot more, like where we are trying to narrow down. A lot of brands are actually adding categories, mainly probably to offset the lower volume.
Mm-hmm.
So every category becomes really crowded. Another trend that's interesting, it's actually the materials. So
Okay.
first you had wood, and then everything had to be in wood. And then for cutlery and plates and so on, you had all the silicone, and then you had silicone nightlights. You had silicone toys.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have the squishy trend where, also different materials. So
Yeah.
just having pastel colors on wood is not enough anymore. You actually see a really big differentiation in all types of material. And I think that's a trend that we will continue on seeing, a mix of different material. So just everything tactile, so colors, smells, the material it's made with. I think we'll see a lot more differentiation and innovation in that trend.
I see. And I want to go in depth into one of the issue that you mentioned, since you talk about you are in the process of like a SKU optimization for the catalog to kind of reducing the product line. Like, what are some of the criteria that you use to decide on which product is going to stay and which product you're going to discontinue in the future?
Yeah. So it's mainly linked on two axes. One is your working capital. Also, with rising interest rates, we try to have a much higher rotation of our stock. So if we have to buy 4 years of stock of a certain product, we won't do that anymore. And then the other one is kind of your hedgehog concept. Like, what do you really want to be known for? And there we took the choice. Okay, we do the night lights, we do the plush, and then we do traditional toys. But one of our key differentiators is our design style and drawing style. Like, we have one in-house illustrator, and she's drawing that universe of characters, of colors, of worlds.
Yeah.
So everything that we can place in that universe with drawings on, we'll continue doing. Everything else will start cutting much more, just because we want people to recognize a product as Egmont Toys, even without being a label being attached.
I see.
So if it's a generic product and there's no illustration on it whatsoever, we will probably now refrain from producing those, because you're just interchangeable with any other product. So one of the SKUs we cut, we had a chessboard, just a generic wooden chessboard.
Yeah.
We stopped producing that just because you can't build a brand around a chessboard.
I see. So try to stick with your kind of core identity and your product differentiation, and try to, keep the product that really can stand out in the crowded market is really important.
Yeah, exactly. So the first step was to define what is our identity, what are our different brand assets that we want to create, that we want to build, and then using that as a filter together with the rotation speed of a product to say we're doing that and not that anymore.
I see. And I know the brand is mostly like the traditional presence, mostly in Europe. You have some US distributor, but like, what are the strategy for US market going forward? Are you going to spend more marketing resource trying to expand the US presence, doing more digital marketing here in US? Or what are some of the things you are trying to do for the US market?
The US is our number one focus market. So we'll invest a lot more in product availability, improving distribution, and then we'll set up a marketing engine as well, which is mainly online advertisement combined with content creators specifically for the US market, adapting some products to the US market, making sure the prices are right for the US market. But it's been a tricky past 18 months for importing brands in the US market. So we're trying to adapt as good as we can.
Yeah. Including the tariff last year has been quite chaotic.
Exactly. Yeah,
it's really hard to plan when you don't know how much the tariff is going to be. So I see. And like you mentioned about the digital transformation process you are trying to do with your brand right now. What are some of the biggest challenges that you are still facing this year?
One challenge is the data maturity. Like, is your data correct? Do you have all the data available? So that's a big job to make sure all of that is correct. Then the other one is change management within your team and your stakeholders. Are they on board? Can they use new tools and so on? And thirdly, it's the change management with your partners, like your B2B partners. How are they ordering? Are they using all the content you're creating? Because if you just create content and nobody's using it, then it doesn't make a lot of sense. So it's kind of about making sure the basics are right, and then making sure your stakeholders are involved in the change.
Yeah. Well, for our audience context, how big is the team right now, and how do you kind of divide up the role in your company right now?
So we have a core team of 3 people.
Okay.
So where one person is focused on products, the other on sales and finance, and I'm mostly focused on growth, so revenue and marketing and everything else.
Yeah.
Such a core team of 3 people. And then we have our illustrator who's linked to us with somebody doing creating video and content. Somebody's handling helping us for customer support and influencer management. So a core team of 3 people, but then an extended team of 7 people actually.
Okay. So the extended team is more like freelancer that's working part-time then?
Not necessarily. Some of them work full-time as well.
Oh, some of them work full-time as well. Okay. I see. Do you have like a dedicated team member just for the US market, or is it kind of mix where they kind of do both?
No, because we split our responsibilities with our local distributor.
Okay.
So it's mainly their team and our team collaborating to fairs together, getting content together, rather than having one person who's going to US only, because it would be too much overlap with the operations of our distributor.
I see. Okay. That makes sense. And you mentioned that you are also coming to some of the US show. I think we met in person earlier this year in New York Toy Fair. Like, of your personal experience of attending shows here in US versus some of the toys and game shows or gift shows in Europe, what are some of the industry differences that you notice between the continents?
It's tricky. I think Europe has a background of much more boutique stores, whereas the US is large toy shops, but e-commerce is much bigger, and then you have the gifting channel.
Yes. Yeah.
So the gift channel is something in between, our boutique stores and concept stores in Europe. So it's quite a specific type of store. And I think the shows are much more aligned to, is it a toy show or is it a gift channel show?
Yes.
Whereas in Europe, those are mostly combined. Like
Oh,
Nuremberg,
okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
you'll find products for both. Whereas in Maison and Objet, you also have things for the house, but also things for toy stores. So
yeah.
So it's much more heterogeneous, whereas in the US, it's much more linked to a specific channel. Is it a gift show or a toy show? Depending on where you go.
I see. Okay. That's a very interesting observation. I didn't notice that. I haven't been to any, I guess there's no concept of like a gift trade show in Europe as much then?
No. It's much more all around store. Yeah.
I see. And I know you also have a lot of experience in the B2B side of business, obviously. So I know in US, at least my understanding, since I know the US market a lot better, is usually you use a lot of different sales rep group or sales rep trying to kind of represent your brand and talking to retailers. Yeah. Is that also the same in Europe? How does it work in the B2B space?
So in Europe, we have 2 models. So or we work with distributors and represent your brand, and then they buy stock, and then they own the commercial relationships. Or you work with rep groups, like individual reps, and they take the orders, and then you do the fulfillment. It's a mix of both, depending on the markets and the quality of the partners. Overall, the sector is in big change. A lot of stores are closing, some new ones are opening, but the new ones have a more often digital approach, so they want to place the orders on your B2B channel.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily want visits all the time. They want much more content to help them rather than scanning through a catalog.
Okay.
So, and I think that the stores that will survive will be the more mature ones. That you can't just open a store in the city center anymore and pray for the best. You need to understand your margins. You need to understand what drives category value. You need to be able to, trade up consumers in your store. So we have our best collaborations with partners where we co-create with, like, let's co-create your sales window. Let's co-create your shelves. Let's build a shelving plan rather than putting all products all over the place. So that's a big evolution we see for stores. They need to adapt. They need to professionalize a lot. And so all the best reps are the ones helping stores to do that.
I see. Yeah, that's a very interesting observation. And looking ahead here in the next few years, are you planning to launch more product, or what are some of the things that you have in plan for your vision for the companies going forward?
Yes, so novelties are the toy industry is much more like a fashion industry. People think the collections is very, very important and it needs to be on trend. So now innovation will still be a big driver of what we do. I think we doubled the budget in terms of resources, innovation, and launching new products.
Mhm.
So we'll continue expanding our existing universe first, and then down the line we're gonna add some new categories, maybe under a different brand name one day, to really try to expand our footprint and have a better mix of categories for the channel we operate in.
I see. Do you have like a goal on how many new products you're trying to kind of launch every fiscal year?
No, it depends on the season mainly, but also the quality that we get. Like it used to be a volume game, like the more novelties you launched,
Yeah.
the better selling you have. Then again, don't want to dilute that brand identity anymore.
Yeah.
So I think for the coming 2 collections, it will be much narrower, focusing on building that universe. And then once that we add a fully new product category, then you'll have a peak in new products again.
I see. Okay. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I know creativity is definitely a key in our toys and game industry. Like how do you encourage your designer or your design team to come up with the creative idea for the new product that's also aligning to your brand messagings? Like, is there any specific, maybe a magazine or a source, or do you just look at compare this product line, or what are some of the methodology that your team use to come up with like a great idea that can actually stand out and be different in the market?
Yeah. So we used to start from what can our partners build, and then we try to make some of the products our own. And now I'm pushing the team much more to start from a sheet of paper first and build our universe. Like, what are the characters? What do they do? What do they live in? And then based on that picture, like imagine a really large painting of a world. Based on that, what products can we actually create that fit that universe, rather than the other way around, to saying, okay, what is available and let's stick our colors to that. So the creative becomes much more story driven, like what's the universe, what are the characters, what products can we invent in that universe, rather than product driven. Okay, what's trending and let's make a version of that.
I see. Okay. Thank you so much for sharing that. So as we're kind of wrapping up today's interview, the last question I usually like to ask my guests is, if you have to share one piece of advice with someone else that's getting started within the toys and game industry, what would that be based on your experience?
Mainly it's being distinctive versus different. Everybody always tries to make something super unique, whereas it's much more important for a product to be distinctive. Just take one element, one detail, make it different, make sure it stands out, and don't try to reinvent the wheel.
Okay, don't try to reinvent the wheel. That's the message. Okay, got it. And for our audience, I would love to learn a little bit more about you and your business. Where is the best place for people to find you online?
So it's Egmont Toys on Instagram, egmonttoys.com on the website. Those are our main channels that we respond best to. Just slide in our DMs, ask any questions you want, and I'll be happy to get in touch.
Okay, we'll make sure we also put that in the show notes. Thank you so much for your time today to share your journey and your wisdom within the industry so far.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, and thank you for our audience for tuning into this episode of Toy Business Unboxed podcast. I hope today's conversation give you some practical insight and fresh inspiration for growing your own toys for game brands. This podcast is proudly sponsored by Toy Launch, a leading marketing and growth partner for toys and game companies. At Toy Launch, we help brands scale on Amazon and beyond through full service account management, advertising, SEO, creative, catalog optimization, and influencer marketing, and more. If you are looking for a proven team that both understand the e-commerce space and the toys and games industry, we're here to help. If you like a personal breakdown of your brand, opportunity, and the best next step, you can schedule a free consultation session with us. Just visit our website at toy-launch.com/schedule. If you want to connect with other toys and game founders, you can feel free to join our free communities. It's called Toy and Game Launchpad. You can find more information also on our website as well. And for more resource, update, and industry insight, we also post a regular newsletter on our homepage. Until next time, keep innovating, keep creating, keep bringing joys to toys. This is Jason Shea signing off on the Toy Business Unboxed podcast. We'll see you in the next episode. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good one.